table.
Table here.
I asked you to please sit down at the table.
Oh.
Up to the table, not the podium.
We're entering the court under stress and duress, and again, we're claiming common law jurisdiction. We do not recognize the military tribunal flag, and again, under common law jurisdiction, we are protected.
Sit at the table, thank you. All right, we have representing the people.
Nothing matters for Your Honor.
And we have Nicholas Wildstar and Crystal Wildstar. And your hand is looking better.
It's wiggling more.
All right. And I believe the cell phone charger was left.
I have that, thank you.
Okay. Are you recording this?
Correct.
Okay, that's fine, you may, but put it
Thank
down
you.
flat, please.
It's just facing me right now.
No video, you may audio
It's
audio
right.
recording.
It's correct. It's just
Okay,
facing flat.
That's fine. And as before, it's for your own use and not for any internet purpose. So we are here today for sentencing, and let's start with that because there are apparently not some other matters. The jury found you each guilty as charged, and we took the matter over today for assessment. People wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. With respect to the sentencing of both these individuals, starting with Mr. Wildstar, people would ask for a sentence of 120 days in jail starting today, terminal disposition, no probation, for the following reasons. The first being just the nature of the crimes that were charged. The violence that was displayed back on the day of the violation, along with the lack of remorse, necessitates jail. The aggravating factors also calling for jail time for this defendant is one, that he's not amenable to probation. To place him on probation is going to be essentially a waste. To give him volunteer community service or Caltrans will be a waste. It will essentially be pawning him off onto somebody else to deal with. The court had given the order previously during the trial that the defendant shall not put any of the audio that the court had allowed him to record onto the internet. However, the last day that we were in session, May 9th, the defendant has posted that hour and a half audio recording onto YouTube. The defendant, when he left, in violation of the court's order on 5/9 as well, all he did after leaving
Objection,
was,
Your Honor.
all he did after leaving,
You can't object, it's his turn now.
I didn't leave. I was thrown out. My wife and I were told we were free
You
to
will
go.
have a chance in a moment. It's not your turn.
after leaving on May 9th, the defendant went down the street and committed 2 more crimes, both crimes of violence, that he's been subsequently charged with. 1, a domestic battery against the co-defendant, and 2, another 148 resisting. The defendant is violent, he shows no regard for the law, and every time that he's allowed to walk away from here and do a display like he did on May 9th, simply emboldens him. This crime necessitates jail. With that, and he also has another 1461 that we're here for today.
What's that?
With that, I submit.
The driving without a license?
601 is the driving
Yeah.
without a license, or on a suspended license. You were aware of that before we had the trial. You knew there was another one.
Right. I'm just.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
I'm not
I
aware
forgot
of
about
the
Ms.
legalese.
Wildstar. People would ask for simple terminal disposition on her 148 credit time served.
Thank you. That means you're free to go.
It doesn't mean that.
She has.
Well, he's saying
That
that.
means that's his recommendation.
He was saying
And that's based on her lack of a rap sheet
that. Basically served your time.
and her participation in the crime. And the fact that she was a victim of crime that day as well.
All right.
He's saying
Mr. Wildstar, I don't necessarily agree with everything that Mr. Mathis has said. And I agree that at the end of the trial on 5/9, you indicated that you were going to leave the courtroom, that you were done with the trial. And after that point, when you finally did leave, you were not allowed back in the courtroom. I agree with that part of it. But that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. I directed you and ordered you not to post anything on YouTube, and this is the first that I've heard of that. Would you like to explain that?
I'm going to uphold my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, and I'm going to uphold my First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Because again, like I said, I'm protected by the Constitution, and I understand by coming here into this foreign enclave that I'm supposedly relinquishing those rights. I'm not. And again, I'm telling you verbally that I'm protected by the United States Constitution. I do have my passport with me today, and with regards to this matter, I'm actually filing an appeal that I'd like to hand over to the courts now, please. Thank you. Because of the status of the appeal, I would request a stay from Your Honor with regards to the pending judgment until this case is resolved in the appellate court.
Appellate?
Appellate appeals court. I'm not a lawyer.
Actually, hang on a second. Okay. The notice of appeal is to be filed after there is a judgment or an order of the court. So you need to wait until we do that now. And then what you're appealing is that judgment. So time-wise, it can be done within a half an hour, but you can't file it until there's something to appeal. There's nothing to appeal at this point because you haven't been sentenced.
Okay.
So procedurally, just wanted you to understand what happens.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying. And again, just to remind everybody, I am a candidate running for governor of California.
This, however.
I
is
just
not
want to
the
remind
time-
all of you.
Not the time for any campaigning.
It's not a campaign. I
I'm aware of
understand.
that.
I win, you're under my authority.
I'll leave the state.
Please
I'll
do.
leave the country.
I'll usher you out. Matter of fact, before you
Okay,
leave,
okay,
I'll
so
have
we're
these
not
gentlemen
going
arrest
into
you.
What happens if and when you're
So the
governor?
polls get close, you better get out of here, partner.
Okay. And I do believe that Governor Brown has a couple more years.
No, actually, we're filing a petition to recall the governor.
Okay,
So-
well, then there's several steps, but be that as it may.
And the election
what
is
we're
next
doing at
year.
this point, as far as the recommended sentence, did you understand what the recommendation was from the district attorney?
Yeah, he wants to throw me in jail and put me away for millions of years for nothing. I understand.
All right. And Ms. Wildstar, you understand? Did you serve any time in custody? Or you were arrested and taken?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, Mr. Wildstar, I have a choice. You can either be placed on probation for a period of time, 3 years, which means you aren't to get any new cases or violate the law. I understand that you don't believe that you are subject to it, but that would be what the terms of probation are. And there would be a fine that would need to be paid, and other conditions. Alternatively, people have suggested that you would not be the right candidate for probation, and has recommended that the sentence be jail time instead. You understand the difference?
Yes, am
Do you
I
wish-
able
Do you
to?
wish to address either of those?
I don't see any reason why the people would feel as if I'm a violent threat to anybody other than this illegal judicial system, which I'm attempting to fight from the top down. So it's unfortunate that I've been given this situation, this conflict, to deal with this way. And again, it's also very unfortunate that I'm being painted as such a violent character when the people knows nothing about me other than what they saw or heard in that video, which was nothing but a man protesting and protecting his constitutional rights. So
But that's not the issue.
the issue is that he's saying, based on that, I should be thrown in jail for 160, 120 days, whatever, which is 369 months. So I don't want to go to jail just for exercising my constitutional rights, nor does the judge have the authority to persecute me for exercising my constitutional rights.
I think you've missed the point here. The issue is, if you're placed on probation, that means that you would have to follow the rules and the laws that people have expressed.
Mm-hmm.
Your unwillingness to do that, and therefore have indicated that it would be perhaps useless to place you on probation.
Would I have to pee in a cup? I don't know what probation is. Is probation parole or what? What's the
It's
difference?
not parole,
Okay.
and it's not formal probation. It's not a drug charge, so you do not have to do any drug testing.
Mm-hmm.
But the terms of probation are that you violate no laws, that you not drive unless you have a valid license, that you follow all of the California laws. The concern is that you don't agree with them and that you wouldn't follow them. So the other alternative is that you are sentenced to jail time, and that would take care of any sentencing, so you wouldn't have any further obligation.
Well, I do follow them. There's tons of California laws that I haven't ever violated. There's
Well,
California
I
laws for
certainly hope
not
so. We have-
stealing or killing. I haven't violated any of those laws. So these laws in particular, I'm just contesting based on my understanding of the Constitution as well as previous Superior Court cases. But again,
But if
that's
you're
not
on
to
probation,
say.
you can't pick and choose which laws you follow.
That's not to say that I'm living in California violating laws all day, every day, because I'm clearly not doing that. So to say that on probation, I'm agreeing to stay within this certain jurisdiction, that's what's being recommended by the
Right.
judge, correct?
I'm saying that's the alternative.
Okay, and that jurisdiction military tribunal, admiralty law jurisdiction?
That's California state law.
California state law, okay. And again, I'm not going to attempt to violate any laws here. So by offering probation, I mean, that would be fine, but again, I am filing an appeal. So if that's your final judgment, I have no problem, I guess, complying with that. Because again, I'm not a violent person, nor would
It's not
jail
violent.
time need to be considered.
It's not the violence. It's the issue of, the simple issue is, you would not be able to drive unless you have a valid California driver's license.
I haven't been driving as is. Matter of fact, we got a ride here today. We've been getting rides and have been catching public transportation because our car has been taken away.
Okay, let me explain to you how this would work then. If you're placed on probation, the period would be for 3 years.
Mhm.
You would be ordered not to violate any laws. If you do violate any laws, and you come back to court on a probation violation, that means if you get any new cases,
Mhm.
then you could be sentenced up to the maximum amount of time on each of these charges. You have 5. Generally, these are 6 months and or a fine of $1,000. So, you could be placed on probation at this time, ordered to violate no laws. I mean, there are other orders, but that's the one that's the most important in this case. If you violate them and you come back to court, then you could be sentenced up to 6 months on each of these for a probation violation. I'm not saying you would be on each or, all of these, but you're looking at the maximum of 2.5 years.
Mhm.
So it's like you're rolling the dice here.
What are you asking me? Are you asking me a question, or are you just explaining to
I'm
me?
explaining to you
I
what
understand.
probation would be.
Yes, I got it. So is that your final judgment?
I haven't given you the judgment yet.
Okay.
I was
Because I would
talking
actually
to you to see if you
request,
are amenable to probation, because
I would request that Your
I don't
Honor,
have any indication before that you would be.
I would request that Your Honor consider time served with this incident. I've been arrested and detained several times, up to 12 hours. I've been manhandled, assaulted. I've been deprived of amenities such as water and toilet paper, and treated like a less than human being. And I feel as a human from one to another, this incident, along with us personally having to deal with this financially, not having a car, still having to go to work, me losing my job, all of this being an issue involved, this has caused enough turmoil to me to where I've been in prison ever since this has started. And I would love for Your Honor to just consider these factors. Again,
Okay, I'm
just
aware of
from
the
one
other
person to another. To consider that maybe at this point, this case can be dismissed.
It's much too far along in the process. The jury has found you guilty.
Okay.
It's set for sentencing today.
And you can say case dismissed, always. You have that power. That's why you're the judge. That's why you're the justice
There
of
are
peace,
certain things
to
that a
uphold
judge
peace.
can do, and other things that a judge cannot.
Well, if you're acting under your oath to uphold the United States Constitution, there shouldn't be any other interpretation other than to serve the people. That's what your oath was. And under the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, with regards to respect, it says personnel must respect the basic constitutional rights of all. They must respect the law of the land and not allow personal biases to guide them. This is a personal bias. I don't know why the people feel as if they have an agenda with me when I've been expressing this to the people, and they've been telling me how profoundly idiotic this whole ordeal has been. The people watching the videos, the people, those are the people that are responding to it. So when this person,
Okay, but you're digressing.
okay,
So let's focus back on the sentencing. Anyway, you have to say anything further?
If the court's inclined to give the defendant probation, I believe the 14601 carries with it a 300 plus pound assessment fine.
This is true.
so I can pay for my freedom. That's always an option. But I don't have money. I'm raising my money from campaign donators.
If you are placed on probation on the driving on a suspended license, it's required that you pay a fine, which is $1,500. It's about $1,500.
You can do whatever you like.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we don't really have as much money right now to pay that. Again, he just lost his job, and
We
I still
to pay
have
right
mine.
now anyway.
I understand that.
So-
However, this is not something that I have discretion on. Unless he serves the jail time, then the mandatory fine is 300 plus penalty assessments, and that's about $1,500. So, it can be converted to jail, or if he does jail, I can do that in lieu of a fine.
How long is
Fine is required.
how long would the jail term be?
Well, the people are asking for 160 days, 120 days, which would be 60 days in jail.
Okay.
And I understand that that's not what Mr. Wildstar would like. He would rather be on probation.
I would rather be free,
Oh, I understand that.
you know.
But given that it's not like I have the options that I have at this point that I'm dealing with right now are jail and no probation, or probation and a fine.
If that's your decision.
Those are the two options I am considering. Okay, so on Mrs. Wildstar, the jury having found you guilty on count 1, the court will give you credit for the time that you've been in custody and impose no further fine. As far as Mr. Wildstar,
I still love you guys, just to let you know.
that's nice.
This has all been an exciting journey for me.
Good.
I've appreciated every moment of it.
My dilemma is that I'm concerned that you won't follow the terms of probation. And I don't want to have you have to come back in here.
Okay.
And the alternative is to put you in jail.
Okay. Is that your decision, Your Honor?
You know, at this point, I think it would be cleaner and easier for you if we just do that.
If I what?
So what I'm going to do at this point is to sentence you to 60 days Orange County Jail.
And again, I filed an appeal, so at this point, I'd like to request a stay. That way, until that appeal is, I guess, acknowledged and dealt with, I'd be allowed to be let free on my own recognizance.
We have a bond that was previously posted.
Mm-hmm.
On what page?
Like,
On it. This one? Nothing happened with the bond when there was a bench.
$50,000. It has not been exonerated.
Are you going to exonerate that bond today?
Well, I was certainly intending to,
Great.
but if you are asking for a stay on the jail sentence, then I believe we can keep the bond until you serve the time, and then it will be exonerated.
All right. So I still have to keep paying, is what you're telling me. You're gonna let me go, but I have to keep paying the. Got it.
Okay? What I will do at this point is to set a date for you to report to jail,
I filed an appeal.
taking into consideration that you have the appeal. So we'll set it out for a ways. How long did they take to do the first step? 3 months? We should know something by then?
You're gonna set the date out 3 months from today, or so?
I'll set it out, and then you'll need to come in either on that date or before that date, so we can see what the status of the appeal is.
Right.
And if the appeal is in process and everything's been done correctly, and they're still working on it, then we can set it out further.
Okay.
But we have to have a date to put in so that we know what we're doing. So we're checking, is 3 months enough to do something? Why don't we set it for August 30th?
Excuse me.
So there's a matter of the other two cases. Perhaps you'd like to be arraigned on both.
August the
Over
30th?
interjection, of course.
Pardon me?
August the 30th, it's right before Labor Day, it's Friday.
It could be longer than 3 months.
Most likely, it won't be done by August 30th, but we can at least have a status at that point.
Did she just say 8 months?
No, she said it could be longer than 3 months.
Oh, okay.
It might be 8 months.
Better hope not.
We're continuing we're setting August 30th as the date to report to jail. And the minutes should say that upon completion of the jail sentence, the bond will be exonerated. So that we can make sure the minutes indicate that we don't have to continue with that.
May I ask, with regards to my vehicle, will that be returned to me?
I don't have anything to do with the vehicle. I don't have any paperwork. If it was impounded,
Yep.
then you have to go to that police department and to that towing company. They should have sent you some information. I don't have any knowledge of or control over what happens with towed vehicles.
Understood.
We do have,
This is the next line in the jail.
Yes, I'm doing jail in lieu of fine.
The magistrate.
Jail in lieu of.
No credit.
Yes, you were in custody on this one, how many nights? Now, the first time you were arrested on whatever that date was,
I don't know, I wasn't released until the
February
next
28th.
day, about 5, 6 in the morning.
you were arrested in.
I was arrested at around 9 or 10 in the morning.
Okay,
I was released around 5 or 6 the following day.
okay. So he has credit for 2 days. So 2 plus 2 are 4 days.
And then the jail in lieu of fine is concurrent.
So you need to come in on or before August the 30th, so we can find out the status of the appeal. And if we need to change the report to jail date, we'll do that at that time, if it's not, if it hasn't been resolved,
Gotcha.
okay? I believe that takes care of, oh, no, there's one more matter. The exhibits from that case are normally returned to the parties. In this case, since you're filing an appeal, what do we have marked that we would then send to the appellate department?
We just got those two, and then we gave the.
All of these.
Like people's exhibits.
Yeah, I believe since we have an appeal, we should attach them to.
There's the matter of the poster board that I'll have to bring up as well. That was the map of the levy.
Right. Do you have a small copy of that map?
No.
Okay. So the exhibits will be attached to the record for appeal, because you've asked for a copy of the. Yeah, keep all of those together.
When will I receive a copy of that transcript from the court proceedings?
I don't know, once you appeal, that's in a whole different department, and they don't let me know anything.
Gotcha.
No, he's gonna give it back, right back to you, so it should be a file.
Good, he needs to file it downstairs.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'll bring up the large transcript.
So I'm just gonna, do you want me to keep this?
I don't, so this should all go downstairs, right?
No, this is just.
It's part of it, it's the part of the appeal.
Proceedings, this is to discuss proceeding history.
But when we do the appeal, instead of a settled statement, they will simply take all of the records on appeal.
And the audio as well. I assume we don't even need to do the settled statement because we have the audio.
Exactly, we don't need a settled statement because we have the audio, so they will get
It's
copies.
downstairs at the clerk's office.
All right, we have 2 other matters. One that's been trailing along behind this one, which is the driving on suspended license matter from June the 8th, 2012. That was an older one?
Yes, Your Honor, Angela Gunderson for the people. So we have the 14601 with the date of violation of February 19.
I'm sorry, date of violation I have is 6/8/12.
Mm-hmm.
6/8. I have one with date of violation February 19th of 2013.
History and I'm going to.
Well, what happened to the first one?
Do you have a case number on that, Robert?
NBR 19487. That's that's the 12,500.
Yes, the people don't have that, I believe it might have been a direct file.
All right. So, Mr. Wildstar, we have the February the 19th driving on suspended license, and the new case from May the 9th, domestic violence and resisting arrest. That's one you were telling me about.
Thank you.
So, do you want to take care of the arraignment on these today?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you if you want to take care of the arraignment, and if you're guilty or not guilty.
I claim common law jurisdiction. I do not consent. I waive all benefits. This is a waste of time. I don't recognize your military tribunal flag, which is a warning that you are entering into a foreign state, and you will be under jurisdiction of that flag. The flag of the golden yellow has no constitution, no laws, no rules of court, and is not recognized by any nation on this earth, and is foreign to me in the United States of America. If you recognize that flag, then you're entering into international contracts with this court, which I am not aware of. I have not been told that I've been entered into any international contracts. And if the people can present this court with evidence of how I'm aware that I've entered into an international contract and am obliged to consent to go along with those laws, then we can talk.
Okay,
Till then,
let me stop you there. We are not
I make a
talking
motion that
about-
this case be dismissed,
Okay,
because again,
that's fine. You've made a motion. I'm denying your motion.
but you
The
don't
flag
have
being in
right
the
to,
courtroom
you
has
don't
nothing-
have a right to.
Mr. Wildstar.
Under Article
The
4,
flag
Section
being
3 of
in
the
the
United
courtroom-
States of America, no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state. This is a whole nother state in my state of California. And again, as a Californian, I'm not recognized in this
You don't-
other
you
country
don't have to
that you're
recognize the
representing.
flag. You are in a courtroom.
Okay, and
The flags can be put out in the
you,
hallway.
as the judge sitting under a gold or yellow French flag becomes the captain or master of that ship or enclave, and he has the absolute power to make the rules as he goes. The yellow or gold French flag is your warning that you are leaving your constitutionally secured rights on the floor outside of the court. And if you are saying this is true, you are in violation of my fundamental rights and are subject to penalty under Title 18, Section 241 of the United States Constitution, which says, if two or more persons conspire, 1, 2, to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured by him in the Constitution and laws of the United States, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned, not more than 10 years or both. If you're telling me this is true, Your Honor, then I'm going to be placing you under citizen's arrest today. Again, for violation of Section 2, Title 18, Section 241. I have witnesses, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? And these 5 witnesses now would like to testify against your felonious, treasonous act, okay? And I'm going to request that these peace officers assist me in arresting you. If not, then I will have you arrested myself. Because I'm arresting you.
Are you going to enter a plea?
I'm arresting you right now as a citizen's arrest
Are you
for your
going to
violation
enter
of
a plea on
oath
these
under the
charges?
United States of Constitution. If you are not aware of what your violation of oath is, Title 18, Section 2381 says, in the presence of 2 or more witnesses, again I have 5, of the same overt act in an open court of law, if you fail to timely move to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States and honor your oath of office, you are subject to the charge of capital felony treason. I have 5 witnesses now that have witnessed you committing capital felony treason. I am now placing you under citizen's arrest. Will you officers aid me? Okay, then I'm leaving.
The court is going to accept your
And I will have you arrested, and I will have you arrested, and I will have any and all of you constitutional violators arrested. Do you understand? When I say I'm running for governor, I'm not shitting you, my man. I'm running for governor. You are going to be under my authority. I will run law enforcement. I will run judges. I will run a DA. You aren't upholding your constitutional oath. Your law enforcement code of ethics says serve, protect, respect, private life, public trust, none of you are doing right now. So again, under common law jurisdiction, I do not recognize this court and I'm leaving. I'm done with this charade. Do not contact me again.
All right, I'm going to set the matter then.
Let's go.
We'll set it for August 30th.
Learn about your constitutional rights. You think this is America? If you're sitting here acting like this is America, you don't know anything about your rights. You don't know anything about your country.
And that's all I do.
And all of you are felony treason. This is online right now being publicly broadcasted live. I want them to see the violators and traitors, my thousands of followers. Traitor, traitor, traitor. You are all rogue enemies of the state, and I will all have you persecuted, and arrested. Traitor. They said they're done with you. Let's go.
They're entering something on my behalf.
They said, how can they enter
As far as the
anything on your
violence,
behalf?
There's no violence.
Exactly. They don't know anything. I didn't even get arrested on a ticket for domestic dispute. Did you even look at the ticket? There is no, it's not even on there. It's not even on there.
Yeah, I just heard you saying battery, and I'm not even claiming battery at all.
I don't know what's on there, so let's go with the judge.
She's entering something that I
Exactly.
didn't even push any charges or anything like that. This is actually news to me. And that's what I would like to know myself. She's saying it's battery, but you haven't even discussed anything with me. And I'm sorry, ma'am, and what's your name?
My name is Angela Gunderson.
Gunderson, and you're entering violence on my
Ms.
behalf?
Wildstar, let me explain. Because of the incident on the 9th, Mr. Wildstar was charged with domestic battery against you. Now, that has not been proved, those are the charges. Listen, normally, what the district attorney or the people do is ask for a no-contact protective order. I will not sign a no-contact order. The only order that I have signed is that there not be any violent contact between the two of you, which is normal. Nevertheless, the alternative is that the protective order for you, because you're the one who is to be protected. Generally, it is that there's no contact at all, and that he must stay at least 100 yards away from you. I am not signing that. And what I would suggest, that if this gets further, and you have something that you wish to say about it, that you go down to the district attorney's office, talk with,
Her.
I'm sorry, the public defender's office, you can talk with Mr.
Well, I would like to waive that, because I feel I have the right
But
as
I
a
can't do
wife.
that, you have to talk to the district attorney.
They're not just going to drop the charges. They're saying you got to go through their system.
Justice of peace, and I'm asking you to drop it. It's already been enough. He's been taken from me. My hand's been broken. He lost his job. I missed a whole week of work, almost losing my job. And this is really hard for me. And then this lady I've never met is saying, oh, well, now you're a victim of battery, and you're going to have to charge him for that. I waive that. I don't want that at all on his record. Because they didn't even ask me, would you like to charge this man? They didn't ask me, would you like to charge this man? They didn't say anything.
Nor did any incident occur.
Now all of a sudden, I hear this, and
Mr.
oh, it's
Butler,
battery.
are you recording?
I sure am. I'm exercising my First Amendment and my Ninth Amendment rights.
Are you videoing?
I am.
Okay, you may not. Will you please remove the phone?
You have no right to, henchman. You have no right to. Do not put your hands on me. Come on, Crystal, let's go. Come on, Crystal, let's go. It's a waste of time. These are henchmen. They do nothing but enforce their... It's pointless. Do you hear what she's saying?
I get it. You need to get
They're
a chance
still...
to speak.
That's exactly what she's saying. Henchmen. These people are henchmen. They're violators of the United States Constitution. They are doing nothing to help protect the citizens. We have 5 witnesses that witnessed a judge committing felony treason. We attempted to perform a citizen's arrest, and they did nothing to help us, sir. They did nothing to help us. This is not America. This is not America.
Mr. Wildstar, that's your copy?
Come on, let's go.
She'll tell me what needs to be done.
And they call